Hi Rajan, thank you for sending me your speech. I thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. Now, feedback wise, I'm here to give you feedback on what went well, on the positives, and what could we improve on, and take your speech, it's already good, to the next level. What I liked about your speech is the structure. You started with a clear foundational statement. Now, in public speaking, a foundational statement is quite crucial. Why? Because it leads your audience, it gives you a food for thought and leads you into your story. So well done. In your structure, let's see the positives. You had clear structure, you had a beginning, three stories, and then finally finishing it off. And every time you built transitions with each by asking a rhetorical question. I think that was well rounded. You also finished off with a powerful conclusion and giving a message to your audience. Now, what I call this as a watertight speech structure. Now, this is the traditional way of doing it. So, well done. I'm trying to give you as much as recommendations because it's not a traditional Toastmaster speech where they'll give you praise, improvement, praise. So, what you did well was structure. The second thing that you did well is the humor. Now, I'm not sure you had any intention to bring humor, but there are so many bits that brought humor to your speech that it evoked laughter, especially when you're talking about the ex convict coming for his tax return. I did it. That was the quickest tax return in my entire life. Second is humor. I don't know about this, but I seriously ask you to consider humor, the engaging humor as your pathway, because I think that is your core skill. Now, if we were to, as I said, to improve it further, here are a few recommendations. Number one are pauses. When you started in your speech, I felt each sentence weaved on to the next sentence, we moved on to the next sentence, and weaved on to the next sentence. So at each breath, you packed in so many sentences. Now, why is this a problem? The problem is, just think about the audience. If they keep listening to somebody who is never finishing, then it doesn't give them a time to think. So, how can you improve it? I would say a sentence, a micro pause, take a breath, then start in the next sentence. Take a breath, start in the next sentence. So, this, when we plant pauses, this gives the audience to think through and respond. Aha, yes. And why pauses are so important? Because it's essential for humor. Now, this is not a humorous masterclass, but if you think of humor, how can we enhance your speech is already humorous. How could you enhance it further? You enhance the humor with a four-step formula. Step number one, you create a setup. You tell what you're going to about to tell. Then you plant a pause. And then the third thing you do is give the punchline, a punch word. Say, this is complex, I'll just simplify it. Say, in your example, when you told that, give me your working with children card. So that was, and the entire segment that a convict came in, you didn't know as a convict, a person, so you can tell a person comes in and You ask for his ID check because he does not have a driver's license. And I asked him for work. Okay, do you have a working with children check? Then pause and then narrate. I am a convict. This is my prisoner card. That pause creates tension and also enables you to improve your humor and take it definitely to the next level. Now, I also have a third thing is feelings. You mentioned I was scared. I really want you to feel scared. Really like act out. When you are scared, how is your facial expression? Just think through it. Now, how do I do it? Typically, what I do is when I put in a story, I also add an emotion. What emotion am I feeling? What are the characters' emotions? Say, for example, who is Lisa? And pause and have that worried look on your face. Why we are so much focused on emotion? Because of mirror neurons. That means the audience mirrors our emotion. Only if we feel that emotion, the audience can connect to that emotion. So that is the emotion. And the last bit I had was never tell any story by starting, I'm going to tell you a funny story. Because funny is subjective. Something is humorous for you might not be something humorous for them. So what you tell is, I'm going to tell you a story. And if you are telling a funny story, do the opposite. Go with a serious face. And in your pauses, you tell that and bring on, and that actually pulls out humor in your speech. Oh, earth is flat, it's shaking, and you feel it. So here are a few tips, but otherwise I would seriously ask you to consider humor as your pathway. Because why humor? Because humor is the best way to connect with any audience. When the audience is laughing, there are two things. They hear you, plus they connect. They laugh because they understand. So well done on your speech. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing your speech at the club.